Thank you on behalf of all of us for doing that. Ms. Henson?
Thank you. Just a couple of questions, and I'd actually like to follow up on something Mr. Cuellar pointed out about kind of the Chinese strategy around the world, and obviously Indo-PACOM is the most visible, I think, area where we've seen recent aggression, but can you just comment briefly about, have you seen any other places in the world where they're showing that aggression directly, places that we might need to be aware of? And yeah, if you could just elaborate on that to start, that would be great.
So certainly the Chinese are very, very active around the Indo-Pacific, but they are active in South and Central America, Africa, looking for opportunities to invest and gain access. With regard to maritime operations, obviously, as we send ships into the Western Pacific, we do that in conjunction with the U.S. Navy and continue to ensure that our ships are have the correct readiness level should we encounter unfriendly behavior on the part of the Chinese Coast Guard.
What keeps you up at night about that challenge?
The world continues to change at a quickening pace, and as we operate in maritime areas that are competitive and challenging, ensuring that my workforce has the readiness level that they need to meet whatever the challenges they might find in the mission that we've asked them to do.
Right, and you mentioned that obviously in your opening statement that you are having challenges with readiness because of recruitment. Can you elaborate a little bit on what those challenges have been, and if there are any barriers, are those things that this committee can be helpful with, or other ways we may look at assistance there?
Yeah, so I appreciate the support, the funding support that we've got to build increased recruiting capacity. The recruiting is a highly individualized effort. It's one-on-one, human being to human being. It takes a fair amount of interaction. Also appreciate the support for some of the technology systems that help make it easier once we have found the person who's interested in coming to us, easier to onboard them. And I'm committed to making sure we've got the right resourcing in place to recruit people, and then just telling our story. There are so many Americans that have no idea what the U.S. Coast Guard is, what we do, and then the opportunity and the value proposition that we offer as an employer. And so I appreciate the support, and we'll continue to get out there and tell our story.
Did you lose any of your workforce due to the COVID vaccine challenges? I know that obviously that was something we heard a lot about, that some people may have chosen to leave as a result of that or retire. Is anyone offering to come back? I guess I'd just be curious what that did to your...
We had a number of individuals who we did remove from service for failure to be vaccinated. We have contacted 100% of those individuals, both active duty members and cadets, and some are choosing to come back. In fact, we had our first one come back onto the active duty roles just this past Friday.
Okay. Can you get me some numbers on what that looks like in terms of how many actually you had to ask to leave, and then how many have been contacted, what that looks like? Just
so it was 275 that were asked to leave. We've contacted 100% of them, and the first one has come back on. We're using the same process to re-onboard people, for who have left for other reasons, and I don't know what the total. It's too early to tell how many will actually come back, but 100% have been contacted.
Okay, thank you, Admiral.
Thank you, Ms. Henson. Mr. Trone's recognized.